Let's head to Blackpool now, where Michael Gove, the Levelling Up Secretary, is holding a press conference. He is speaking at the British-Irish Council Summit, which is, as I said, happening in Blackpool, and he's taking some questions at the moment.
Would be required at this point if progress is to be made, the progress he signalled last night. And also, Taoiseach, Taréis an Cruinniú seo an bhfuil tú dóchasach go mbeidh socrú ann faoin protocol.
Thank you very much. The programme of legislation in the House of Commons is something that is above my pay grade. I'm not aware of any plans to pause consideration of the protocol bill. I think it's in committee stage in the House of Lords at the moment. I should say, though, that the discussions that the Prime Minister had with all colleagues here about the importance of finding a safe landing zone, I think were conducted in a cordial and constructive fashion. And as the Northern Ireland Secretary said, he is a glass half full man, so we remain optimistic about the opportunities of reaching a resolution.
Yeah, could I say on that, I think the essential point is that a window of opportunity has been created with the pausing of the elections and the engagement between the United Kingdom government and the European Union in respect of talks and a clear preference articulated both by the UK Prime Minister and the European Union leadership, the preference for a negotiated resolution of this. It's my assessment that the window of opportunity now does exist. The space now exists to resolve the outstanding issues pertaining to the protocol by negotiation. And obviously that will need momentum. It will need substantive engagement by the EU and UK government to make that a reality. But I must say I take away a positive perspective from last evening's meeting with the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. I think we both agreed that we would maintain together a focus on getting this issue resolved in the context of the wider issues that challenge us all in terms of the war in Ukraine, the energy price increases and the energy issue, and of course headwinds in the global economy. So that's the context, and I think the window of opportunity exists. If I may ask Gaeilge, bhana mará go bhfuil dóchasach, go bhfuil cuí an inis, go bhfuil seansa going an ceist seo a réitoch agus is léir ó rialtas na Breataine agus ón Aontas Eorpacha go bhfuil fáin ar an merteachá teach le chéile chun an fhadhb seo a réitoch agus táim ag súil go méid cainteanna substantiúil ag tosnúanis cainteanna cuimseach ag daileáil leis an protocol anas go méid an scéal a réitoch agus tá sé rítheachta go méid an é sin a dhéanamh mar tá géarghá an inis an rialtas sa túisceart agus an chothaíonóil a thuirtar ais agus go muintear an túisceart a bheith le feiscint na institúí a bheith rais.
Thank you. And it's just at the back.
Jane McCormack, BBC News, afternoon. Taoiseach, to you first. You've talked about that window of opportunity. How big is the window, though? I mean, are you talking about before Christmas, or is the real deadline for getting Stormont back now the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement? In terms of Anglo-Irish relations, Simon Coveney, your Foreign Affairs Minister, previously said just a few months ago that he couldn't remember Anglo-Irish relations being so bad. I wonder how you would sum them up now. And to you, Minister Gove, ministers from Stormont should be here today. I just wonder how long you think it will be before they are back around the table with others, because as we know, if the DUP isn't on board with a deal, then Stormont won't be back.
Well, could I first of all say that I'm reluctant to put a specific timeline on this, but there is a significant window of opportunity. And the timeline really, and both the Prime Minister and I were very clear about this last evening, as soon as possible. The sooner we can resolve this, the sooner negotiations can bring a resolution to this, the better, because both of us want the institutions back up and running as quickly as possible, and the Secretary of State was clear on that today as well. That is the actual imperative at one level in terms of the British-Irish Council here, that we regret the fact that the First Minister and Deputy First Minister are not here. So therefore, that is the real pressure point, is to really get this issue resolved so we can create a pathway for the restoration of the institutions. And the sooner, the better. And it's possible. I agree with Vice President Šefčovič that it is possible, if we have a substantive engagement with momentum, to resolve these issues. And in terms of, there was a saying in Ireland that a week is a long time in politics. Well, months can be an eternity. So what I'm basically saying is I think the relationship, certainly between the Prime Minister and I in both governments, has improved very significantly. And I think we're both of a mind to with our colleagues in the European Union, to get this issue resolved in a harmonious way. And I think the meeting over these 2 days has again reinforced the importance of all of us working together on shared challenges and shared issues. So therefore the need to really get this issue resolved is important, because we have other bigger issues also, really significant economic challenges coming our way. We have the war in Ukraine, where we all have to work together and continue our solidarity with the people of Ukraine in respect of the immoral aggression from the Russian authorities.
The next British Irish Council meeting will be in Jersey in June or July. I sincerely hope that we have ministers from the Northern Ireland Executive there then. The sooner the better. Yes.
Good afternoon,
Oh, sorry,
Ministers.
forgive me, yes.
Hi, Tracy McGee from UTV and ITV. And Taoiseach, can I ask you, first of all, you were talking last night about there needing to be meat on the bones in terms of the discussions between the governments, and I assume potentially the offer that will be made from the UK government to the EU. And also, if there is a deal, is there a recognition from the Irish government, the EU, and do you think the UK government, that any deal that is reached will have to have unionism on board, or there's no chance of Stormont coming back? And to you, Minister Gove, a question. First of all, if the government is going to be forced into a new austerity, given what was announced today, what impact could that have on levelling up, especially if that involves real-term pay cuts for public sector employees? And also, if I can ask the question, in Northern Ireland, people are still waiting on the £400 payment for help for paying their bills. What is the UK government going to do to make sure that the people, the households in Northern Ireland, are treated equally?
Well, could I just very quickly say that it really is a matter of both the EU and the UK working out mechanisms to resolve issues. We've always said that there are legitimate issues that need to be dealt with. We've also said that there are other sectors of the Northern Ireland economy that have benefited in the current situation with the protocol. Manufacturing has been very clear to us that the situation is good for them, certainly over the last 2 years. Also the food industry, the agri-food industry, has been very positive about the impact of the protocol, and everybody in Northern Ireland has been unanimous in saying they want to maintain access to the European single market. So those are the clear starting points. That said, on consumer goods and other areas, there are issues have arisen which I believe can be resolved. And it's not so much one side offering the other, it's both sides coming together to sort of explore and work out to a mutually satisfactory in a mutually satisfactory way the issues. And I was struck by the Prime Minister's pragmatic approach, understanding where the European Union are coming from, but also he then seeking, obviously, that the EU understands where the United Kingdom is coming from. And that's always a good basis to start negotiations and to get involved in negotiations. So that's why I remain hopeful. I do not understate the difficulties. I do not understate the challenges. We have to keep all parties on board within Northern Ireland, and I maintain regular dialogue with both unionist parties as well as all of the other parties. So all of their inputs are valued and are very important. And we've always acknowledged the legitimate concerns of unionism in respect of the protocol. One addition I would say is it's also important that the voice of industry and business is heard in respect of the practicalities of any solutions, because they have to operate them on a day-to-day basis, and they have good insights to offer and have offered them to Vice President Šefčovič and indeed to the UK government in respect to the legislation. that was tabled and is going through the House of Lords now, but which would be injurious actually to some aspects of Northern business, and they were able to point out to us the nuts and bolts of it. So I think that covers all your points.